have a deal.
We do. We do have a deal. Meet here. Every day at Sunset Cannons.
You promise?
All right, Zac Efron crying. Don't make me cry, but now you're giggling. Is it hard to watch yourself?
Out of context, that was ridiculous and hilarious.
Well, here's the thing. It is a very emotional film, and let me put it in context.
Cool.
You are in a tragic accident with your brother, whom you adore in the film, and you are somehow miraculously revived. You survive it, he does not.
Yes,
and you made a deal before he dies, and you want to keep that pledge.
Yes, and keeping that promise ultimately, leads to me sort of not living my life to the fullest. So thank you for putting that in context.
Well, you're welcome, because I know sometimes it is a little bit silly, and that's the scene after his funeral. You can't control it. You kind of run over to the place where you're going to meet him, and he's there.
And yeah, and his ghost appears. So.
You've got a brother. Was that influential at all when you said, I definitely want to do this film?
Yeah, it was, when I read the script, I had that instant connection with the material, and I was really able to picture my little brother going through this scenario, and it just struck an emotional chord with me, So that was one of the main reasons I was drawn to the material, and I'm so excited because I think that this is a real honest depiction of brothers and how they are today. I know that it represents how me and my brother are. So.
Not only that, it really touches on the subject of grief, and if you lose someone that matters to you, the guilt that you feel, when do you move on? And if you move on, are you forgetting them? And how do you honor their memory? There's a lot of things that even if you don't have brothers, you can really relate to.
Yeah, it's just got those great messages. Family, are alive in our hearts forever. And, they stay with us. Even in the afterlife.
You filmed this. In fact, one of the questions from our guest Riley earlier said, how long did it take you to film this movie? Because you filmed it in British Columbia, a beautiful setting, by the way.
Yeah, it was amazing. Vancouver, it's beautiful.
How long did it take?
It took about, I think about 8 weeks or so. So we were all over the place. We had a lot of sailing scenes. So it was, we had a minute, but it was really fun.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the sailing because you play a guy who's, and obviously you put that love of sailing on hold after your brother's death in the film. How difficult is sailing? You're a pretty athletic guy. I know you do a lot of sports and you work out. Gosh, I see a ton of pictures of you working out and looking great, but sailing seems pretty difficult.
It's one of those things you can never really be prepared for because it's so precise and you're so in the elements. There's so much wind and sound, and it's very, very dependent on where the wind is coming from.
Right.
It's all airfoil. I thought the wind just blew into sails and you sort of took off. I really had, that was what I was under the impression sailing was.
Did you tip over, Zac Efron?
Oh, we capsized a million times.
Did you really?
Oh, crashed a million times. First lesson, they get you out in the water. You're terrified. You're moving real quick in this boat, hanging over the side, and the first thing it does is the instructor just lets go of the tiller, and the boat just starts going crazy and flips over, and you're dunked in the cold water, flipping your boat over. It was terrifying.
I'm guessing that a zillion people came to your rescue, and whoever was in the water with you was ignored.
No.
Is that kind of what happened?
No, it was more like the instructor somehow stayed on the boat and watched me struggle trying to get back up. So it was there's no way to learn other than just to be thrown in. It's kind of like how my parents taught me how to swim, which is just.
You mentioned your parents, and I know your dad was the one that kind of encouraged you to act. I loved reading that Ray Liotta, who's in the movie, he plays the paramedic that revives you. The real reason he signed up, he said, I'll be honest, my daughter is a huge Zac Efron fan.
Yeah.
Do you find that now that you're acting with some pretty big shots, the John Travoltas of the world and the Ray Liottas, that they're there kind of because they're kids?
Dude, it's like a great excuse to work with some amazing actors. It's been really cool, actually. If that's the end, I'm very, very happy and very, very grateful for those daughters. I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
I read somewhere, and I want you to tell me if this is true or not, because, of course, High School Musical kind of put you on the map, and then you were up for Footloose, the Kevin Bacon role. I read you turned it down, and one reason is because, you know what, thanks, everybody. I love the musical stuff, but I really am trying to get away from that a little bit. Is that the case?
Yeah, sort of. That's definitely one reason. I'm not going to deny it, but I think that really I was just looking for a new challenge, something different. Having done the musical so many times, I was really hungry for that new direction, trying to take things somewhere else and seeing if I could make it and seeing if I could do it. So I hear High School Musical noise in the background.
Well,
really?
Come on, we had to have a clip of Vanessa and the gang.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Sorry, I was distracting.
Why, you want to sing? No, I'm just teasing.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
teasing. I'm
You can
teasing.
go for it.
No, believe me, I won't. I also read somewhere, speaking of Vanessa Hudgens, and by the way, you make a very cute couple.
Thank
But I
you.
loved reading in the latest People issue. Again, you're kind of a workout guy. You love being outdoors, but the biggest challenge you've had was when she was training for a film with the Navy SEALs, and you said, "Let me see what she's got to go through. I can handle this." Was it hard?
Yeah, she spent a lot of time like talking up these workouts, and I knew from Zach's movies that Zack Snyder's movies that you know, he keeps his cast very in shape and has like the best trainers. So I was really excited to see what, you know, they had to offer. And when I went in, I saw the girls training. Vanessa was lifting like 100 and something pounds straight over her head. And I was just blown away. You know, then I tried to do it and could barely even get it up. So it was like, you know.
How long did you rub that in for?
For quite a while,
Yeah.
quite a while. You know, now I've caught up, I think. But you know, they didn't take it easy on me at all. So.
I love the fact that you're always looking for challenges, though, and I know you've kind of dabbled the behind-the-scenes stuff. And did you help produce Charlie St. Cloud, or have some sort of role behind the scenes?
Well, you know,
I
guess as most actors do, as any actor does, I think most of our work comes with collaborating with the directors and producers, but trying to all be on the same page. You know, in terms of development, I guess, you know, I talked with Burr early on, and we decided you know, what direction to sort of take the film, but pretty standard stuff. You know,
Has your mom seen it? She's gonna cry. She is going to cry, Zac Efron.
Yeah, well, I can't believe you got to see it early. I'm glad that you liked it.
Oh my gosh, bring the tissues. It is, but to watch her son and the actor who plays your brother, and she's got 2 boys, she's gonna lose it. Seriously, I wouldn't even sit in the same row as her. You may want to move to behind the scenes.
That's a good excuse. You heard it here, Mom.
Yeah, you're going to have to see it on your own.
Right.
Listen, congratulations.
Thank
I honestly
you.
thought they were lying when they said you were coming through Phoenix. I thought, he's not going to pop by, but thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations on everything. Charlie St. Cloud opens in theaters on July 30th. You'll definitely want to get out and go see it. Very excited for Zac Efron.
Thank you very much. So nice talking to you.